Well, thanks so much, Itai Kellner and Gil Efrati, for the contribution. We go now to Inbar, the founder of Superventures AWE, for a look at the future of XR, to see what's new in the industry and where things are headed in terms of stores and what we can expect to see in the near future.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Retail Innovation Club annual event. My name is Inbar, and I've been helping grow the XR ecosystem for the past 14 years as an entrepreneur, investor, and a community organizer. I assume that by now, everyone has some level of understanding of what AR and VR mean, or the way we like to call it in short, XR. These technologies are ushering the next wave of computing, which is not that far off. In fact, in 2020, we believe it has entered the mainstream. But instead of using these acronyms, I personally prefer to call the next wave of computing spatial computing, because it's a very significant wave, as big, if not bigger, than the PC wave, the internet wave, and the mobile wave. What separates this wave from previous major waves is that it literally adds another dimension to computing. It allows us to interact with content spatially, the same way we interacted with objects in the past million years. And spatial includes a whole set of technologies such as AR, VR, MR, mixed reality, a whole lot of AI and machine learning. And it includes sensors that help computers understand the real world, as well as introducing new forms of real-world interaction, such as voice, gaze, gesture interaction, even brain-computer interfaces. So why do we need another wave of computing? Well, first, it's more natural than interacting with a 2D screen. And it provides a better experience for users. It's more engaging, and it's already demonstrating significant ROI for businesses. I mentioned before that I believe spatial computing has reached the mainstream. So what's the evidence for that? This chart is from last year, but it's still very much relevant today. In 2020, we reached 1 billion users. Moreover, 7 out of 10 corporations and 9 out of 10 brands plan to use XR in 2020. When you look at investments into XR startups, it has slowed down a bit in the last couple of years since the peak, but continues, especially when it comes to high value startups. But the biggest impact is probably the big tech companies, which are pouring billions into R&D and constantly delivering software and hardware enhancements to support more and more XR adoption. Another interesting development in 2019 and 2020 is that millions of creators, people that create content using these technologies, are jumping on this opportunity and creating more and more content. So it's no surprise that IDC predicts this market could exceed $200 billion in just a few years. One of the sectors with the biggest growth so far is retail and e-commerce. XR has 3 major areas of potential impact on retail and advertising: brand engagement, try before you buy, and in-store experiences. Mobile AR has demonstrated confirmed improvement in brand engagement, as much as 4x more than traditional video. And consumers that use mobile AR for try before you buy are demonstrating over 10 times more likelihood to purchase a product than traditional websites.
Now this pair is one of my favorites.
I was gonna say, I don't think I liked the last pair.
How do you like this one?
Those are fun.
These are totally fun. And then you can change its colors too.
Another huge benefit for retailers is that it has proven to reduce returns by as much as 25% or more. Now, regarding getting consumers back to stores, especially after the devastating pandemic that we're facing right now, is going to be challenging. And many XR companies are currently piloting in many retail stores different approaches. And I think it's clear for everybody that it's about the experience. The experience has to be significantly better than shopping from home. You have to think about it as on-site shopping versus home shopping. And innovators need to seek experiences that are so cool, it would get consumers off their couches and back into the store. The magic mirrors and virtual fitting rooms that we've seen in the past decade were a great starting point because it can pull consumers from the street into the store. But if AR and VR could help a consumer get a much deeper understanding of how a product works with setup and gear that maybe is only available at the store itself, that could attract buyers to come back to the stores. One example is the Lowe's HoloRoom simulation, which trains how to test drive an electric saw through a captivating experience.
Lack of confidence and access to the right tools stop many DIY projects before they even begin. HoloRoom Test Drive expands on the success of the try before you buy model by providing a multi-sensory product education experience that utilizes haptics, scent, sound, and visuals. In its first iteration, Lowe's customers learn how to use the Cobalt Hedge Trimmer. The experience teaches product features, safety tips, and proper tool handling, followed by a guided shaping and designing session. Customers have the option to enter an arcade mode where they can refine their skills and race the clock.
Those experiences create stronger bond and a higher likelihood of not just purchasing, but coming back to the store for more of these kind of experiences. And when you add gamification, treasure hunts, and other ways to make the on-site shopping experience even more, well, augmented, it could be another way to get consumers back into the stores. However, in contrast to try before you buy, which has shown proven results so far, there's still no real evidence of how successful these attempts to bring back consumers into the store have been so far. So that's an area that requires more research and validation. Here are some of the technology drivers that will impact adoption and you should know about. AI or machine learning had significant breakthroughs in the past decade and are now enabling near perfect augmentations. Just see some of these examples.
Or maybe, I've always wanted to be a redhead, so maybe I'll try red. I mean, you can change the intensity of it.
Change the intensity, and this is also
Web AR, the ability to run AR campaigns on the web, is removing a lot of friction that we've seen with app-based campaigns in the past. And it's making AR or mobile AR way more accessible to more people. Creation tools are becoming more common and easy to use. So there's more qualified talent out there to deliver on your ideas. Another aspect is 3Difying the world, the ability to scan places and objects in 3D. And that's becoming easier and easier, such as the LiDAR in the new iPhone 12, which is a depth camera on almost every smartphone out there. And that gives a significant bump to the ability to scan in 3D, to create content, as well as to place content in the real world. Virtual beings or AI-based avatars are starting to appear as virtual assistants, along with photorealistic or sometimes cartoony faces.
Hello. I am your office assistant. I can help you book meeting rooms, submit service requests, provide building info, tell you about my creators, and tell jokes.
5G is now out, still in the margins, but will gradually grow and enable for fast communication between devices and the cloud. And that will enable to offload a lot of the processing that is currently happening on devices to the cloud. And that will enable a whole new set of things that were not possible before. Smart glasses, still some time away before we'll see mass adoption of smart glasses, but you should keep a close eye on the progress of smart glasses, as it could quickly become a game changer for retailers. When it comes to privacy, it's probably the biggest threat for XR adoption. So to remind you how dangerous it can be, I want to show you this face. With spatial computing, when everything we do in the real world is captured and analyzed on camera, the amount of data collected about us by corporations will only grow. So to ensure that information is protected, always remember this face. That's all I had for you today. Thank you very much. Please do contact me at this email address. We'd love to hear from you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.